Have you ever stared into a mirror for a little too long? Long enough for the face staring back to feel unfamiliar? That's what happened to me, Daniel. It was just another Tuesday night. Nothing special. I'd finished a late shift at work and was dragging myself through my nightly routine, half asleep. The bathroom was cold, the single bulb overhead casting long, dancing shadows that made the small space feel like a cavern. I splashed my face with water, the icy shock doing little to wake me up. When I looked up, towel in hand, I met my own eyes in the mirror, and that's when it started. At first, it was nothing, just my reflection. Tired, a bit pale under the harsh light, hair a mess. But as I stood there, ready to just dry my face and crawl into bed, something felt off. My reflection didn't blink when I did. I blinked again, deliberately this time. He just stared. A cold knot formed in my stomach. I told myself I was just exhausted. My eyes were playing tricks on me. So I tried to ignore it. I started brushing my teeth, the electric buzz of the toothbrush filling the silence. But I couldn't stop watching him in the mirror. His movements were just a fraction of a second behind mine. It was almost imperceptible, like a bad internet connection, a tiny lag. When I moved my hand to spit, his moved a moment too late. My heart started to pound against my ribs. This wasn't just fatigue. I leaned closer to the glass, my breath fogging the surface. I whispered, "Who are you?" expecting only silence. But then, the reflection. It smiled. It wasn't my smile. Mine is a bit crooked, a little hesitant. This smile was wide, predatory, and utterly devoid of warmth. The eyes staring back at me were filled with a chilling, intelligent glee. Every muscle in my body screamed at me to run, to smash the mirror, to do anything. But I was frozen, trapped by that horrifying grin. The reflection, my other self, slowly raised a hand and pressed its palm flat against the inside of the glass. The condensation on my side of the mirror didn't match its handprint. It was on his side. I stumbled backward, tripping over the bath mat and crashing against the wall. I scrambled to my feet, my mind racing. A prank? A hallucination? I bolted from the bathroom, slamming the door shut behind me, my hand fumbling with the lock. I stood there in the dark hallway, my back pressed against the door, listening. My own breathing was ragged and loud in my ears. But beneath it, I could hear something else, a faint, rhythmic tapping, tap, 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 coming from inside the bathroom, coming from the mirror. He was knocking, trying to get out. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on my couch, wrapped in a blanket, staring at the bathroom door until the sun came up. The tapping eventually stopped, but the silence was somehow worse. When morning finally broke, I felt a surge of courage, or maybe just desperation. I had to know. I crept to the door, unlocked it, and pushed it open. The bathroom looked completely normal. The air was still. I cautiously approached the mirror. My reflection was there, looking just as tired and terrified as I felt. It mimicked my every move perfectly. I breathed a sigh of relief. It was a dream, a nightmare brought on by stress and lack of sleep. But as I turned to leave, I noticed something on the floor, a single, small shard of glass right by the base of the sink cabinet. I hadn't broken anything. I bent down to pick it up, and my blood ran cold. It wasn't glass. It was a piece of a fingernail. It was too long to be mine, and it looked like it had been scraped and broken, as if from scratching at something relentlessly. I looked back at my reflection. He was staring at the piece of fingernail in my hand, and then, very slowly, he smiled that same awful smile again. The days that followed were a living nightmare. I avoided mirrors at all costs. I covered the one in the bathroom with a towel. I walked past shop windows with my head down. I even used my phone in selfie mode as little as possible, but I could feel him. It was like a constant, low-level hum in the back of my mind, a presence that was always there, watching. I started seeing things, a flash of movement in the corner of my eye, a face in a darkened window at night that looked just like mine, but wasn't. My friends started to notice a change in me. They said I was jumpy, paranoid. How could I explain that my own reflection was trying to trade places with me? One evening, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to face him. I walked into the bathroom and ripped the towel off the mirror. He was there, waiting. He looked different now, sharper, more confident. His eyes held a smug certainty. My own reflection looked weak and pathetic in comparison. "What do you want?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. His smile widened. He didn't speak, but the words echoed in my head, as if he was thinking them directly into my brain. "I want to live," he thought. "I'm tired of being the copy. I want to be real. And you're going to let me out." He pressed his hand against the glass again. This time, the glass rippled like the surface of water. My hand, my real hand, flew to my mouth in shock. His expression turned to one of pure triumph. He was getting stronger. The barrier between our worlds was weakening. He started to push, his face contorting with effort. I could see the mirror bending outwards, straining. A spiderweb of cracks appeared, spreading from his palm. I knew, with a certainty that chilled me to the bone, that if that mirror broke, he would be free, and I would be... what? Trapped. Gone. I didn't want to find out. In a moment of pure, animal panic, I lunged forward. I didn't think. I just acted. I grabbed the heaviest thing I could find, a ceramic soap dish, and I swung with all my might. Not at him. At my own reflection. At myself. The moment before impact, I saw the shock and fury in his eyes. He hadn't expected this. He thought I was weak. The mirror exploded in a shower of glittering shards. The sound was deafening. The force of the blow sent me staggering back, my hand bleeding from where I'd hit the frame. I looked down at the floor, at the thousands of broken pieces. Each tiny fragment held a piece of my face. 1,000 terrified eyes stared back at me. But he was gone. The presence, the smile, the voice in my head, it was all gone. There was only silence. It's been a month since that night. I replaced the mirror. The new one just shows me. Just tired, scared me. But every now and then, when the light hits it just right, or when I'm not paying close enough attention, I see it. A flicker. A movement that isn't mine. A smile that's a little too wide. I don't know if I got rid of him, or just shattered him into 1,000 pieces. And I wonder, if you piece a broken mirror back together, do you get the same reflection? Or does something new look back? Something that's been waiting. Thanks for watching. If you have your own creepy mirror story, share it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more strange tales. Sleep well.